Good morning. Hello, Friday. Excuse me. I'm so glad that you're here, my fellow Earthlings. Just another moment or two before we get started with the official live stream. I'm so glad you're here. I am going to go and snag my mat and a couple of other things, and then I'll be right back so that we can get started. Hello again. I have my mat now. Okay, today is Friday, February 28th, and the moon right now is new in the sign of Pisces. So lots of really lovely associations, particularly for flowing like water and resting. Pisces is the sign of the fish. And so we're going to use supported fish as one of our options for resting for Yoga Nidra. So if you like supported fish, know that that is totally an option for the resting meditation. And then moving out of it if you don't need that intensity of the fish pose. In any case, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Come to your feet if you're not there already. Lengthen out your mat if you haven't done so already, like me. I'm going to do that, and we're going to face the long edge of the mat, and we're going to take a moment to just cultivate our standing posture and pay attention to the spinal column, since that's what we've been doing all week. Since I came back from my little hiatus, I decided that each week I will be focusing on a particular theme or focus for our practice. And this week has been the spinal column. So we're going to continue our focus on mobilizing the spine. Not motivating the spine, although it could motivate it too, right? So as you come to stand, pay attention to the direction of your feet. We are looking to point the feet like 11s directly in front of us. So not like that and not pigeon-toed, but directly in front of us, hip width apart. Figuring out hip width apart, bring the fists together and put them down between your big toes. And that is about hip width apart. Teeny tiny bend in the knees. This is going to make the leg muscles work and take some of the pressure off the knee joints themselves. Use your exhale to pull the belly to the spine and your rib cage in towards the spinal column. And then check and make sure that your shoulders are directly over your hips, that you're not rocking forward or leaning back, but that your shoulders are right over the hips. So now let's really focus on the spinal column here. I'm going to ask you to interlace your fingers along the back of the head and then press the back of your head into your hands and keep your jaw parallel to the floor. And notice the length that that created through the neck here and reaching up through the crown of the head. Take a couple of breaths here while you press your head into the back of the hands and lift up through the crown of the head. And notice the spine growing longer here. Awesome. Relax the arms down by your side and see if you can keep that same strengthening pull back with the head and up with the head to maximize that length in the cervical spine. And I invite you to think about keeping the spine throughout all of our movements as long as it can possibly be. So pulling the crown of the head as far away from the tailbone as you can get and separating out all of those vertebrae along the spinal column. Let's begin our flow. Extended mountain, reach up, breathe in, and then exhale, lean, whichever this direction this is for you. Use me as your mirror here. And then as you lean, remember to keep that little bend in the knees and really use your belly and rib cage muscles to pull the belly towards the core. Take another breath, reach. Center, reach up. And use your exhale to lean to the other side. Remember, reach up as much as you're reaching over, creating lots of length along the side of the body. Yes, nicely done. I see you in my mind's eye. Stand tall, stand in the center, reach up a little taller. And then on the exhale, step your feet out to star pose. Here's where we're going to pivot our feet to a V, heels in, toes out, reach up into star pose. And let's do 3 goddess and lion's breath to start the day. One more. Star. And warrior 2, facing this direction. Pivot this foot to face the long edge. Pivot this foot to face the short edge. Line up the heel with this foot, with the arch of this foot. Bend the knee. Maybe you widen your stance. Check it out. Arms up. Notice your shoulders. Get them right over your hips. And our hips and our shoulders are facing the same direction, even though this leg is pointed in a different direction. See if you can relax the shoulders away from the jawline, and then shift your focus over your front hand. That's the one over the bent knee right now. You've got this. Stand strong. Breathe deeply. Hello. Warrior 2. And exalted warrior. Reach up, reach back. Oh yeah, so good. And then come into extended side angle, or if you like triangle or both. We're gonna stay here for just a little while, so feel free to move through the 2 variations of this shape. Extended side angle, triangle. And now we're going to fold into pyramid pose. So walk this back foot up and face it in the same direction. Step your feet really far apart from each other. Nice wide stance, but a short stride, right? So stride is frontward movement, backward movement. Stance is the width. So wide stance, short stride. And then fold over that front leg. And this is going to be our first forward fold, right? So take some time to really let the torso and the head get heavy here. Let gravity do the work of lengthening the spinal column out. One more giant breath here, pyramid pose. And now step your back foot back even farther. Let's come into a lunge. And as you step your foot back and keep your heel nice and high, Choose which option you want here for your lunge. If you want to stay folded over, if you want to come down to the earth, or on the opposite spectrum, stand up and reach up for crescent lunge. This is yogi's choice here. How much dynamic, robust movement and effort do you want to make? This is your choice. Breathe big. Next up, we're going to fold into lizard pose. So if your back knee is lifted, go ahead and bring it down to the earth. And then bring your shoulder inside your front knee. Walk that foot a little bit farther away. And then option here, if you want, you can keep your palms on the earth. Maybe you stay right here. Or maybe you fold down a little bit farther. Lizard pose for a good 5 or 6 breaths here. Okay, next up we're gonna rotate, we're gonna twist this. So you're gonna turn towards your front knee and bring the opposite hand to the earth right inside your foot. Turn towards that front leg and then send your top arm up, rotate, twist, and breathe. Awesome, y'all. Untwist, tuck your back toes, lift that back leg, and now we're gonna pivot into warrior 4. Side lunge. So take your time to pivot your feet and pivot your legs. There is no rush. And then once you're in your warrior 4, or if you don't want to balance on that foot, come on down to the earth for seated single leg extension, and then point and flex your foot of the lengthened leg. Roll that foot around the ankle, wiggle the toes. And then if you're really feeling mighty, maybe you want to see if you can bring both hands off the earth or not. Awesome sauce, y'all. So we're going to move now into yogi squat. So pull this leg in. Balance on your toes and or your whole foot. Elbows inside the knees, palms together. The yogi squat in the moon flow represents the new moon, which is right where we are right now. Dark of the moon, which means that it's in the sky right now. Rose with the sun, setting with the sun today. Notice your spinal column here. Reaching up through the crown of the head, just like you did when we were standing up. Okay, let's start taking care of the other side. We're going to lengthen this leg out and come to warrior 4 for the other side. Get there. Sit down if you want seated single leg extension instead. Give your foot some love. Yay. And now we're going to pivot to our low lunge and twist it. all the time you need to establish your foundation. The back leg is on the earth, front knee is bent. Bring this hand to the inside of your knee, or the inside of your foot rather, and then reach your inside hand all the way up. Revolved lunge. Notice your spinal column turned around on itself here. Creating mobility and suppleness across the spine and everything it's attached to, especially as you breathe. The breath is always the final part of the equation. Untwist and fold to lizard pose. Two more deep breaths here. All right, we're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then stand up into a crescent lunge or stay folded over for a low lunge. You choose which variation of a lunge you need right here. Glad you're here. And now we're going to step forward and fold into pyramid pose. Ready? Do it. Drop your head. The head is the top of the spine, so let it drop. And that gravity is going to help pull the vertebrae in your neck apart. Not all the way, but enough to give more room for all that good stuff that flows through the spinal column. Sweet. Okay, next up we're going to stand up and move into warrior two. So now we're going to pivot our feet. This front foot stays facing the short edge. Take your back foot out. Lengthen your stride. Back foot faces the long edge. You want to ish, line up this heel with the arch of the back foot. That helps us to line up the knees, which lines up the hips. Bring the shoulders over the hips. Shoulders down away from the jaw. Reach your arms out. Warrior two is one of the best all-around shapes ever. And you know what? Now I realize I forgot extended side angle. So let's do that. I was thinking that felt a little bit weird. So just bend down to the knee and enjoy extended side angle, triangle. Hey, at least I remembered while we were still here. And now exalted warrior, rotate the arms up and back. And now for real warrior two. And all that same stuff, the same foundation of all of those shapes is the same feet. And this is one of the sort of universal best things that we can do to strengthen so many parts of the body, the quads, obviously, the legs, but it also helps to strengthen the core. All of the shapes that require this warrior two footing are fantastic to strengthen the quad and the thigh, and then also for strengthening the psoas, that's that deep core muscle, and then also with the lengthened leg, lengthening out the psoas on the other side of the spinal column. And we're going to focus on the psoas in coming weeks. Next week's focus is going to be on the fascia network of connective tissue. Sweet. Let's move into star pose. And we're going to do our rounds of star and goddess. Check the time here. 30 seconds. Go. However many you can do in 30 seconds. Nice. Come on up to star. Pivot the toes to the long edge. Fold forward. Wide-legged forward fold. Oh, so good. Let the head get heavy. Freestyle here. Get what you need. Hang out in your wide-legged forward fold for another handful of breaths. While you do that, I'm going to move the camera down so we can come down to the floor for our part of the floor practice and Yoga Nidra. All right, we're going to fold down to the earth for Simhasana. So bring your toes together, knees apart, come on down to the earth, and then turn your turn your hands, fingers facing in, palms to the earth. We're going to do another 30 seconds of lion's breath from Simhasana pose. Ready and go. Yes, there's a hole in my leggings. So what? One more. Super sweet. Let it go. Shake it out. And now make your way around to butterfly pose. Join the soles of the feet. Hold on to your toes or your ankles, whatever you got, hold on to it. Once you're here, do as much as you can to let go of the legs and let gravity stretch out the groin muscle, the gracilis. If you want a little bit more from the hip opening action, bend your elbows, bring the front of the body forward. Next up, lengthen this leg out and bring this foot to the inner thigh. Lateral stretch, lengthen your arm out along the leg. Bring your shoulder back, top shoulder back. Reach this arm up and over. Sit back up, turn towards your lengthened leg, Seated single leg forward fold. Marichi twist. Sit up, bring your bent knee up. This foot comes over, turn, twist, breathe deeply. These are our last few maneuvers before Yoga Nidra. All right, let's untwist. Come to butterfly briefly. Reset to the center. And now we're gonna lengthen this leg out and bring this foot to the inside of the thigh. Lateral stretch. Oh wait, we're going backwards. Remember, it's the moon flow. So bring this knee up, foot goes over, twist first. And then we're going to untwist and do our seated single leg fold, aka seated tree. And lastly is lateral stretch. Open back up, reach this arm along the lengthened leg. This hand comes up and over. So good. All right, y'all, it's time to rest. Come on up, bring yourself to a seat, just long enough to gather whatever you need for your Yoga Nidra. We have reached the end of the effort. The first part of this session is really the first part of Yoga Nidra, which is preparing the body for meditation and relaxation. So you've already done that part. So now I want you to take some time to just settle back, bring your blankets, your pillows, your cup of tea or coffee or water, whatever you're drinking, have that nearby. And then settle your body and begin to rest. And know that you deserve this rest. You don't have to do anything to earn it. It's yours because you exist, because you live on planet Earth. As a living, breathing creature on planet Earth, you deserve to rest, period. You don't have to have accomplished anything in order to do it. Although you did accomplish doing all of that work for your body so that it can relax now. So as you're settling in for Yoga Nidra, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the lunar lore right now. So the moon is new, which means that it is rising and setting with the sun, and the sky is dark at night, which means that the stars are more visible. In the lunar lore, this means that it's a great time for resting and reflection. And I love that for the new moon or the moon flow class that we do on Fridays, because that's what it's all about, going with the flow and then resting. So this is a perfect time for that pause and rest. It's a fulcrum, right? So it's like a little pause before swinging the pendulum to the next part of the cycle. So Pisces is a water sign. So our flow today is that flow of water. Water is the emotional principle. It is the emotions, dreams, the subconscious, symbols, images, intuition, psychic ability, spirituality, emotional security, family, home, forgiveness, metamorphosis, transcendence, and our ancestors. Settle your body and let the flow of time wash over you, the flow of time from this moment of here and now all the way back to our earliest ancestors, an unbroken line of life and death and life again, the flow, the flow, the flow. Pisces is a transpersonal sign. So this means that it helps understand ourselves in relation to the whole world. And the whole world is all connected by water. All water is connected and whole. And Pisces is also a mutable sign and helps us to refine and improve and adjust our tactics and our strategies as needed. And Pisces is also the end of the astrological year. So it holds the wisdom of all 12 signs and being ready to move to the next phase. So it has the full understanding of all of the earthly planes and can teach us about the other realms as well that extend beyond this realm, the mystical, the emotional, the creative, and the intuitive. So settle back into this deeply creative and intuitive space for yourself and begin focusing on the sound of your breath, the feel of the beat of your heart inside your beautiful rib cage. Notice the sounds around you, the sound of my voice, the sounds in the room, the sounds outside of your room. Take some time, settle the body just a little bit more here, and continue being aware of your whole body resting. Notice the whole body stretched out, and in particular the spinal column. The effort that you made while you were standing and moving and twisting. And then contrast that here with the spinal column at rest, parallel mostly to the earth. Notice those curves in the spinal column. Notice the back of the head and the back of the neck and the curves from the back of the head to the back of the neck. The curve into the upper back. Notice the shoulder blades. Notice the middle back attached to the center rib cage. The curve of the spinal column in the upper back and the middle back. And that curve continuing, creating the slight S shape. So we move down to the lower part of the spine, just above the hips, the small of the back. Notice the sacrum. This is the big connecting bone between your hip bones and is typically what's in contact with the earth when we lay down on our mat. And then the tailbone, the coccyx, curving slightly inwards. Notice your whole spinal column from the skull to the tailbone stretched out. And see if you can settle that and let it lengthen out a little bit more, grow longer. Nyasa. Bring your awareness to the crown of the head, the back of the head, the back of the neck, upper back, middle back, low back, buttocks, the backs of the thighs, the backs of the knees, the calves, the back of the ankles, the heels, and the arches of the feet, the soles of the feet. Bring your awareness to the whole back of the body. Notice the entire back of your body. Notice the entire back of your body. Shift your awareness now back to the crown of the head. Return to the crown of the head, the very top. Notice the entirety of your scalp, the whole scalp, the forehead, the whole forehead, the right eye, right nostril, right ear, right shoulder, right upper arm, right elbow, right forearm, right wrist, the back of the right hand, palm of right hand, right thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky. right waist, right hip, right upper leg, right knee, right lower leg, right ankle, the top of the right foot, the sole of the right foot, the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, pinky toe. Notice the whole right side of the body, the whole right side, the right side of the body. Shift. Be aware of the crown of the head, the whole scalp, the forehead, the entire forehead, hairline to eyebrows, temple to temple, left eye, left nostril, left ear, left shoulder, left upper arm, left elbow, left forearm, left wrist, the back of the left hand, the palm of the left hand, left thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, left waist, left hip, left upper leg, left knee, left lower leg, left ankle, the top of the left foot, the sole of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, pinky toe. Notice the entire left side of the body, the left side of the body. Be aware of the left side of the body. Be aware of the crown of your head, the whole scalp, the whole forehead, third eye, third eye, third eye, tip of nose, upper lip, lower lip, the tip of the chin, throat, the pit of the throat, the rib cage, the solar plexus, the belly, the pelvis, inner thighs, inner knees, inner calves, inner ankles, the arches of the feet, the soles of the feet, the palms of the hands, solar plexus, heart center, throat center, third eye, hands, heart, throat, third eye, hands, heart, throat, third eye. See in your mind's eye the sea, the sun, the earth, the sky, your body at rest. See in your mind's eye your whole body at rest on the earth, facing up to the sky. All water is connected. The water in the earth, on the earth, around the earth, in your body. All water is connected. We are more fluid than solid. Notice your body at rest and the flow that happens in the body, the flow of blood, the flow of lymph, the flow of electrical signals, the breath, the body at rest and yet flowing. All life is fluid and moving even while at rest. Be at rest. Feel the flow, the sea, the rivers, the waterfalls, the streams, the lakes, the flow of air through the sky, the flow of clouds across the sky, the flow of rain from the sky, the flow, the flow, the flow. Be aware of the flow and rest here. Savasana, or supported fish. Bring into your mind as you rest in this place of grace your sankalpa, your heart's greatest desire and intention. the universal Sankalpa, safe, healthy, happy, and free, me, you, everyone, all beings, everywhere, always. Welcome back. If you would like to remain at rest and have the luxury of doing that, do that. If you are moving on, notice your body, stretch, make your way to a seat. Take your time, don't rush. Take all of this peace and calm that you have cultivated. And as you bring yourself back to full awareness, bring your Sankalpa back into your mind and hold it there. Thank you for being here with me and each other in the live stream. If you're watching this later, thank you for joining us. I'm so glad you're here. Happy Friday. Let's close with this brief meditation, bringing palms together at heart, and then reaching them up for the stars of which we are made, and then palms to the earth from which we rise and return, and to each other to whom we belong. Thank you. Peace. Health and long life, and may the force be with you, my fellow earthlings. I love you. I'll see you next week. Till next time.